Thank you. Good to see you all. It's very exciting to be with you all, and thank you for joining. In the past, we've talked about different forms of meditation. Sometimes we focus on our breath, sometimes we focus on our body in the felt sense, sometimes we focus on sounds. We've even done walking meditation where we're focused on movement. Today, the primary object of our attention is more going to be around a word or a phrase. And sometimes this is referred to, as you just heard, as a mantra. Sometimes I like to think of it as an affirmation. But one thing I'll say before we start is I feel like I and most of us, we have oftentimes in the background of our head negative phrases that we say to ourselves, honestly, millions of times in our lifetime. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. No one loves me. I'm not worthy. Those are a couple ones that come up for me. And sometimes the way I like to think about this is if I have been saying those phrases in my head for decades, then I have to almost offset that by saying the opposite thousands of times. And that's where I really like these mantras or affirmations of just really deliberately saying that counter narrative to start to balance it out. And I feel like sometimes if we can say the opposite tens of thousands of times, I am worthy, I am good enough, even though it might feel cheesy, even though it might feel silly, I do think that we start to believe the things that we say to ourselves over and over again. And so this is actually a meditation a friend of mine led about 3 weeks ago, and I really liked it. And I asked him about it afterwards. And the basic process is we'll just do a little bit of grounding to get settled. And then I will read off 6 different phrases, and you'll just pick one of those that kind of connects you with you the most. And we'll just in our heads say that phrase repeatedly in different ways for a period of time. And then I'll take you through a final piece, which will be, we'll actually group this in with a physical movement of just saying all of the phrases while also counting on both hands. And I kind of liked the way that he did that because it paired what I was saying in my mind with a physical movement of just counting them off. I'll kind of walk you through that again when we get there, but I wanted to lay the arc before we start. So, like we normally do, I would invite you to close your eyes. And I'm seated in a chair. If you're seated on the ground or if you're lying down, you can kind of adapt this to whatever physical state that you're in. But we're going to just start with a few minutes to just try to connect a little bit more with our body. And so, from a posture standpoint, I always like to check that I'm seated upright. It just has a sense of nobility. I think it just reinforces to myself that I'm bringing reverence to this moment, to myself, to you. And then the way that I like to go through my body is I really want my spine to be straight and pretty much every other part of my body relaxed. So I'll just walk you through some of the ones that I check. I want to check that my chin is slightly tucked. I'm going to lift my shoulders up. You can open your eyes if that helps, but I'll lift my shoulders up, I'll roll them back, and then I'll drop them down. That's just a way of just relaxing my shoulders. I'm going to move my jaw back and forth to release tension there. I'm going to bring awareness to my forehead. Sometimes I scrunch that up with tension. I'll bring awareness to my belly, just consciously relaxing my belly. I tend to tense that part of my body. I'm going to make fists with my fingers and with my toes and then relax them. Just a way to signal to my body I'm wanting to relax my hands and feet. And then I'm going to press down on my feet almost as if someone was pushing down on my knees. And I'm just doing that to get my feet slightly more engaged with the ground as a part of physically grounding my body. And then we'll do a series of 5 breaths. The basic process here is going to be breathing in for a count of 5. We'll hold for a count of 5. We'll breathe out for a count of 5. And we'll hold for a count of 5. It's called boxed breathing because The inhale, hold, exhale, and hold are all the same length of 5 counts. And I like to, when I breathe in, I like to really focus on expanding my belly. And when I exhale, I like to make a physical sound, like an audible sign or a moan. So you'll hear me doing that. It's just a way that's really effective for me of relieving tension. And so we'll do 5 of these breaths. I'll count them out loud for the first one, but then I'll let you kind of go at your own pace for the remaining 4. So we'll go ahead and inhale for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and hold that inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and continue at your own pace. Wherever you're at in that cycle, go ahead and closing that out. It's okay if you didn't get to 5, if you made it to 10, doesn't really matter. We're just trying to calm our body and our mind and just taking one moment to feel your body, your heart, your mind. And I like to try to bookmark and say, okay, I just did just 2 or 3 minutes. Do I feel any differently, good or bad? Just noticing how my physical and emotional state changes moment to moment. And so in this second piece, I'm going to just read through a few different phrases, 6 different phrases, and I'll leave a little bit of space after each phrase. But I'd like for you to invite you to just repeat each phrase in your mind, and then just notice in your body and your heart if any of those phrases resonates more than the others. And it's okay if not, but I'm just going to try to guide us through a process where we just pick one phrase each, whatever phrase in this moment feels juiciest or most relevant. And then for the next part of this process, we'll each focus on whatever phrase we choose for a few minutes just to kind of dwell on that phrase and just let go of any anxiety, any sense of doing it right. There is no way to get this wrong. It's just whatever you walk away with is what you're meant to have. So I'll go ahead and say this phrase, the first one. I am courageous. And just repeating that in your mind, noting how that feels. The second phrase is I am powerful. The third phrase is I am strong. The fourth phrase is I am wise. The fifth phrase is I am brave. And the sixth phrase is I am a warrior. And I'll repeat all of them just so you have them, but just pick one, whichever one connects the most. Again, those phrases are I am courageous, I am powerful, I am strong, I am wise, I am brave, I am a warrior. So go ahead and pick one. The one that connected most with me is I am powerful, so that's the one I'm going to stick with for this next piece. But just choose one, and we'll be in silence here for a few minutes. But I would invite you to just say that phrase over and over again in your mind, just repeating it. You can try saying it slowly in your mind. You can try saying it quickly, but just trying to feel, to tune in to that part in your body where you feel that way, where you feel even a little bit, in my case, feeling a little bit powerful, and trying to just lather up that feeling in my felt sense. So I'll just go to silence now, and we'll stay here for a few moments, just repeating that phrase. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just bringing it back. There's nothing else you need to focus on right now other than just repeating the phrase that you chose, feeling that phrase reverberate in your body. And again, if your mind wanders, that's okay. That's perfectly natural. But just inviting you back to that phrase, letting your mind know it's okay just to focus on one thing right now. Bringing that part of our practice to a close, letting yourself be okay with however present or unpresent you were, just being okay, being kind to yourself, compassionate to yourself, knowing that whatever you got from that is exactly what you were meant to get from that practice. For the final part of this practice, I'll just be reading those phrases out again, all six of them. And I would invite you just to kind of keep your hands wherever they are, if they're in your lap or in your arm rests. I'll hold my hands up in the air, and you're welcome to open your eyes just to show you what I would be doing in my lap. But I'll just go through that now. So I am courageous, and I move my thumb down. I am powerful, my pointer finger. I am strong, moving my middle finger down. I am wise, move my finger down. I am brave, moving my pinky finger down. And then I just make my hands into a fist there on that last phrase, I am a warrior. And I just really love that this last one, I am a warrior, just ends with that fist. And then opening your hands again to start over. And I'm going to move my hands back to my lap. But as I read those phrases, just moving your fingers, I am courageous. I am powerful. I am strong. I am wise. I am brave. I am a warrior. Opening up your fingers again. And I'll go a little bit slower and really invite you to just feel that echo in your body as you say this to yourself, giving space to feel that part of you that is courageous, that is powerful, that is strong, that is wise, that is brave, that is a warrior. Even if it's hard to feel into that part, even if you only feel a little tiny piece of it, really just giving yourself space to feel that part of yourself that is that attribute. I am courageous. I am powerful. I am strong. I am wise. I am a warrior. One last time. I am courageous. I am powerful. I am strong. I am wise. I am brave. I am a warrior. You can relax your hands. You can relax this practice. I'd invite you to take one last mindful breath, just checking in with your body, with your emotions, how you're feeling in this moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to the call. Great. Thank you.